Hello everybody, John here from the esports department going over tonight's two-game LPL slate. And, LPL two-game slates are never the most exciting slates that we have, but there is a bigger than normal Shock Blast tonight. They did the 20k Shock Blast. I'm wondering if they're going to add another kind of special tournament. Oftentimes when they run a bigger Shock Blast, they also run a bigger, 333 or a bigger whatever. So interested to see if we have anything like that. I'll talk a little bit more GPP this slate than usual, just to give you guys some ideas for the bigger GPPs. But the first matchup we have is BLG minus 600. They're 5-4 on the season, up against TT, who is plus 375, 1-8 on the season. Interesting, both these teams have had very tough strength of schedules. BLG has played 7 out of 9 for winning teams. They're 3-4 in the 7 they've played. TT has played 8 out of 9 winning teams. So probably the toughest schedule in the entire LPL, but they are 0-8 against the 8 winning teams they've played against, which is not a good sign. Statistically, I mean, not too close. 1828 to 1637, that's among the worst in all of the major regions. Plus 92 to minus 298. It does get a little interesting with the First Blood and First Turret. They have the same First Turret and a slight advantage in First Blood to TT. That might be bettable if First Blood for TT is a thing. Let's have a look while we're just sitting here. Let's see what the First Blood line is. I don't usually talk betting that much, but those are the kind of spots that I kind of look at a lot. So let's see. First Blood for TT is plus 115. That seems like a pretty good bet with just a slight advantage there. I still think that's you should have a pretty good bet there at plus 115. Worth looking at. Dragon percentages has BLG ahead by about 13%. In terms of kill per win, death per loss, BLG's been a very good play, 18 and 19.3. TT has not been super exciting in their wins, but they also don't have that many wins. In their losses, they're 18.3. So we're looking at a pretty decent average there between BLG and TT. BLG is definitely your highest owned team on the slate, I would think. At minus 600, TT should be your lowest owned team on the slate. There's not a ton of super reasons to play TT on this slate, but I do think as far as like chance to win versus ownership, etc., they're probably your best value. They're going to be the lowest owned team on the slate. I don't think they're not dead to win. They're going to win 15% of the time, 20% of the time, 30% of the time, somewhere probably in that 20% range. And if they're the lowest owned team on the slate and you're playing the bigger field, the larger Shock Blast or whatever, TT seems like a spot that could be alright. Going down to WE and LNG, WE at plus 115, 4-4 on the season. LNG is minus 150, they are 7-2 on the season. Against winning teams, WE is 2-4, LNG is 3-1. Worth noting though, WE 6 out of 8 games against winning teams, LNG only 4 out of 9 games. So they have basically one of the easiest schedules in the entire LPL. Now they have beaten some good teams, and I think like one of their non-winning opponents was RNG, some stuff like that, where their record or their matchups might be a little bit tougher than they look on paper. But WE definitely seems like the more likely to win of the two underdogs here. Statistically, much closer, 1788 to 1828, much closer there. 1788 range is generally like a lower playoff team or lower to mid playoff team type of GPM. Plus 12 to plus 132. First Blood, 8% advantage to LNG, but First Turret, significant advantage to WE. Let's have a look again real quick, just to see if that's a betting spot, because that's a spot I could see myself betting. WE and TT. First Tower. Nope, they have LNG as the underdog, so they're on point about that. Aware that the First Tower is likely to go to WE. Dragon percentage is about 7% to LNG. Kill per win and death per loss, very high for WE. They've been a very high team for the last year and a half. Definitely a team that you want to be targeting for and against. LNG, much on the lower side. They haven't lost that many games this season, but a 15 DPL is pretty rough. That said, I think WE tends to control the pace of the games that they play, and we'll probably see it closer to WE's numbers. LNG's kill per win, however, 18.5, is pretty good. If you think that they're going to win, then they're looking like your best team on the slate as far as combined KPW and DPL. I would have these two in the middle, LNG the second highest owned and WE the third highest owned. So What do you do on a slate like this? As far as GPPs go, like I said, I think probably TT will be your best value play in a big field GPP. WE makes a great play in a smaller field GPP. That's obviously pretty straightforward, but let's have a look. We'll do cash first, and then we'll have a look at some potential GPP lineups. For cash, it's got to be BLG, LNG, obviously. As far as how these two fit together, it goes with an icon captain. I'm assuming that there's basically no way. What if we dropped down? Because see, the thing for me is I think I definitely want 4 BLG on this slate if I'm playing cash. They don't project quite as well, but I don't have a ton of faith in LNG, and I have a lot of faith in BLG to beat TT. So for cash, I would definitely want to be on 4 BLG. If I have to make a slight downgrade in captain to do that, that doesn't bother me too much. Let's see, what if we went with a Tarzan captain? Let's see. Ale is only 200 cheaper. Icon is 600 cheaper, so you could get Icon in there for sure, and then go aiming. Only 200. PP God is actually cheaper, so that would get you LNG no problem. I think maybe all we might have had to do is, I guess you have to play Zika if you're going to play Icon Captain, but we can definitely switch this to Weiwei, right? Weiwei. Yeah, you can get a 4 BLG. That leaves you 600 on the table, which means if you wanted, let's see, what if we did Weiwei Captain? Just locked that in and let it generate. It goes for BLG if you do that, or for LNG if you do that. Let's see, this is a 1.5 gap. That's about a 1.5 gap. And then Ilwandi massively outprojects PP God, but the PP God's in a much safer matchup. So it's very close on these two. Let's see, 0.17. It's like 1.56. And here it's like 1.46. So you would want Zika, which does not fit. So you'd have to play this version. Oh, it's because it has BLG team in there, so we could fit it for sure. You switch to Zika, and then you play Light. So this is the... Oh, sorry. So this looks like the cash version here. Weiwei with 4 BLG, Light, and Tarzan as your LNG players. 4 BLG, sorry, and Light and Tarzan. That's probably what I'll be on in cash today. As far as GPPs, let's see if anything sticks out to us. I would like to play the underdogs like I talk about, so let me quickly just have a look at just the underdogs. Let's actually start with just WE. Anything weird in their expectations, because that's what I like to see. So we got 81 at mid, 84. Beishang's at 81, and Breathe is at 80. So WE lineups with jungle or top captain actually feel reasonable here. I mean, Elk is the highest projected player, but these two are right around Shanks, but you would guess generally that Shanks would be higher owned. People just tend to make 80 carry captains and then mid captains and then jungle captains third. So jungle and top captains for Team WE seem like they make a lot of sense. Looking at TT, their jungler actually projects the highest by a lot. So jungle captains of TT in the bigger fields make a lot of sense. I mean, if you're pairing TT with WE, jungle captain might be the optimal way to build. It goes mid captain with 4 WE. That might actually be a salary thing though. Yeah, it goes jungle captain if you lower the salary enough. So jungle captain is actually like optimal for those two. If you play TT with LNG, it goes mid captain and plays that Zhao Peng in there. How does BLG's top lane projection compare? Actually super close to their jungler, but not really on the level of mid or 80 carry. Still probably maybe a top captain in there. It seems to me like you want to be looking at some WE top and jungle captains, and some TT jungle captains in particular, mid captains as well. I mean, Sam D is like basically the lowest average player on the team. It's pretty close. Their bot lane in general very low. Long G's having a very good season. A TTWE top captain is something that could be solo owned. And we all have seen what Breathe has been doing this year, so I don't think anyone's going to be too surprised if Breathe captain pulls something off here. So that's the kind of stuff you could maybe put in the GPPs. The only thing, I mean, if you're going to see, if you're going to play these two together, LNG and BLG, you would kind of want to go all the way down to like top captain. And top is looking about as good as jungle for these two teams. But these are some pretty mid 80 carry reliant teams where it's going to be not super exciting to go down to top captain. Ale and Buview really just not on the level of like Light and Aiming, and then Icon and Zika as far as expected scoring goes. Of course, you're looking for outlier results in a GPP, so going top captains could be pretty solid. I wouldn't bother with support captains. In a lot of previous metas, I actually like either preferred support captain to top captain, or I would at least play the support captains because, you know, decent chance they outscore the tops, but that's not been the case in 2021 summer. It's been top lane central. And the supports have scored fairly poorly overall. So I don't think I would even bother going to support captains. You just play the tops, and then maybe some jungles. If you're in a slate where like 80 carry captain is possible between your two teams, you can drop down and play the top captain or the jungle captain. So those are the kind of things I think I'd be looking at for GPPs today. Probably not playing any lineups personally that don't have WE or TT in them. Maybe some top captain LNG BLG, but most likely it'll be WE or TT in every lineup, especially if the field is decent size. So that is all for today, guys. Good luck tonight in the bigger GPPs if you're playing them. Good luck in cash if you play the Weiwei captain. And I'll be back tomorrow for 4-game LPL LCK. Appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.